Okay, I think that'll work better now. Hey, thanks for giving me that heads up. Anyway, okay, I've got, in fact, all three of the people that I thought were going to join me have joined me. So let me go ahead. I'll tell you what, let me real quick start with what I was saying. I have, as far as ways to work with me on an ongoing basis, I have my subscription for hurdlers, $29 a month. It's called my Ace Hurdler subscription, and that is unlimited correspondence with me for whatever coaching you need. That means video reviews, as many as you want to send, questions, help you with your workouts, everything. But I also just started a new thing called Team Ace so that I can make it cheaper. So it's more of a one-to-many or one-to-a-group style of coaching versus my subscription, which is one-to-one. So in Team Ace, you can go in there. You'll be in there with whatever hurdlers are in there. You can upload videos, but it'd be more limited, probably about once a week. Also, question and answer. A lot of my questions will already be answered, and you can see them in there. But if you don't find yours in there, you ask it. I'll answer it. And then workouts. I'll be posting workouts every week. You'd be able to go in there and access them. So they're the same workouts that I have been giving athletes for years. And it's, just the other day I counted it. I've been advertising that I've had 25 state champions and finalists, but actually I counted them and I have 50. So these are the same type of programs that have been working for years, and they're all out there. I'm going to make them as part of the subscription, $9 a month. But the good news is right now it's free. So if you want to go there, and you can just go to my website to access it, but it's a Discord server, and when you get here, we have the welcome, and I have a video that I explain how to work it, announcements. If you want to post your videos on here just for the community, and if you just want to show them off, or if you want to get advice, you just say, hey everyone, I'm looking for advice, and other hurdlers and or coaches that are in here will give you advice. But if you want to submit a video for me to review, there's an area for you to do that. Here's where you'll go to post your questions and see the question answer. Here's where I will be posting instructional videos. Some of them are videos that I have on my YouTube channel, but some of them will be exclusive to this. Also a suggestion box where you can give me ideas on how to make the community better. And then here's where I'll post the workouts. There'll be PDFs that you could download. So anyway, all that right now it's free. At some point soon, I will be getting some more videos. Okay, so those of you who are just now sending me videos, just know, based on experience, and when I say experience, my 1 week of doing this last week, I learned that it's really not a good idea for me to take videos on the spot. Number one, it just takes too long. It gets too boring for the rest of the people who are watching, but also it doesn't always go well. So if you want me to review your video, send it to me in advance, at least a half hour in advance, so I can queue it up, make sure it's good. Sometimes I get them and they're sideways, upside down, or they don't work, or they're too large. So I have two videos I'm going to review in advance. I have one question sent to me, but I can take any question. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that. So I'm going to look at Michelle's video. Michelle, I don't know. Wait, I have to do something real quick so you can see it. Okay, so Michelle, I don't know what your age is. I'm guessing you're a high schooler, but I'm going to play it at full speed. And you're telling me that your issue is that you can't 3-step and even have a hard time 4-stepping and sometimes even 5-stepping, and then also taking, if I heard you right, 9 or 10 steps to the first hurdle. So here's what I can tell just by watching your video. First off, your problem is, there's two things. I'm going to start with one of the problems. The one problem is you're like a lot of hurdlers going too high. So if I watch this from the time that you plant, I watch your knee. Your knee doesn't need to go any higher than this. So I look at your knee, and I'm also looking at your waist. And I'm going to watch it go up, 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 up. Okay, right here is where you have reached the top, or what's called the apex of your jump. And when I look at this, you are at least a foot, if not a foot and a half, over that hurdle. Okay, so a couple of problems with that. The higher you have to go, the longer that you're going to be in the air floating. Yeah, look at this right here. That is probably a good foot and a half over the hurdle. And the other problem is when you come down, which you should be touching the ground right here, you still have, like I said, a foot to foot and a half before you're in a touch. Still haven't touched. Okay, barely starting to touch the ground now. So, and then gravity is going to take you and pull you into the ground because of the big jump, and you lose all your speed. Okay, and then I'm actually seeing something that I don't think I've ever seen before with a hurdler sprinter, is you have both feet touching the ground at the same time. I've never seen that. So that tells me you are definitely too high. That's what's happening here. So it's like you're doing a high jump or long jump, and now you're landing, and then gravity is pulling you down, and you've lost all the speed that you built up coming into the hurdle. Okay, you'll never would a sprinter or even a runner have both feet touching the ground at the same time. That's one issue. The other issue is not even your hurdling, but it's your running. And when I say that, let's go back, and I want you to watch, and you are landing on your heels all the time, big time. So I'm gonna slow it down. So what I don't know, because I've never seen you before, is how you would run if you were sprinting without the hurdles. If this is the way you run without the hurdles, then you need to talk to your coach, because you told me you had a good coach. You need to talk to your coach about how to sprint, because you look like you're running cross country. I do have a download that you can get that's a hurdle running technique cheat sheet if your coach doesn't know how to teach you that, and it will show you what you need to do in order to sprint. But you need to be up on your toes. You need to be turning your legs over differently to gain more speed. If you gain more speed, then you could possibly take more steps. But even in your question, you said, I wonder if I don't have enough speed to take less steps. And right now, I believe that is the case. That you'll be doing fine to 5-step with the way you're running here. But you definitely, no matter what, you need to go lower. See how you're just going up, 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 and see how high you're over that hurdle? You need to go lower over that hurdle, okay? But as far as speed, if this is your speed, you just need to get you comfortable with 5-stepping. If you can go faster, then maybe you can go to 4-stepping. I have a hard time imagining that 3-stepping is in your future, but 4-stepping would help. So I hope that helped. I'm gonna bounce real quick over to see. Okay, so I have the same people in here. So I'm going to look at Benjamin's video because I have it queued up. Benjamin, I'm glad you were able to join. Let me go where I need to be. Focus, focus. Where am I? Here we go. Okay, Benjamin, lane 1. Okay, I'm going to play it here. For reasons that I'm not sure, I think it's just the quality of the video seems to be slowing it down because it's playing at 70%, even though I'm wanting to play it at full speed, but that's okay. So you look young to me. I'm guessing under, I don't know what, freshman, sophomore. Okay, so I'm also noticing that you had more speed in the first 2 hurdles. Now it's slowing, and that was a big one. You had to take a really big step in the middle in order to reach that last hurdle. So that means you are losing speed going over the hurdle. Okay, so let's figure out why. Yeah, big time. Okay, let's figure out why. The person's head jumped into the camera. Okay, so if you watched Michelle's video, you're going to see something similar. I'm looking at your knee. I'm also going to look at your chest. I'm also going to look at your hips to see how high they go. So higher than you need to be. The good things though, you are squared up to the hurdle. I'll go back. Okay, your knee comes through straight. It seems as though, it's hard to see from here. No, so far I'm not gonna say anything. You are squared up, knee comes through straight, your shoulders are straight, your arms are bent really well. But I want you to notice, watch this. Watch how long it takes you to descend that hurdle. So we're going, leg is coming down, and then let's watch your hips or your pelvis. Down, 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 down. Just keep going down. And there, here's where your toe touches, then you're flat-footed here, and then you're sinking still, sinking still, sinking still, even leaning backwards. I can tell because I can see your hips are backwards and your trail leg is now way far in front of you. Even from the front, I can see that. And then now you're like in a hole from like landing from that height. And now you've climbed out of that hole and now you're running to the next hurdle. And keep in mind, because of how high you were, you've already lost some speed. And if you keep doing that on every hurdle you're going to lose more and more speed, and you're just going to struggle more. I'm going to look here. Also, I'm going to guess landing on your heels. Yep. But that's because you're having to really stretch to get to the next hurdle in 3. So not totally uncommon if you're a younger hurdler, but one thing I will say, as soon as you can learn how to attack these with a full-out sprint and use your speed to give you more distance to the next hurdle versus trying to do it by reaching, the better. Because the faster you run, the farther, the more space you're going to take every step, or the more distance you're going to take every step naturally just by going faster. That's a better way to do it versus trying to reach. But I think you're doing fine. You just need more time and development. You look at, you're high over the hurdle, and then I just see so much dropping. Okay, and then there's that trail leg out in front of you again. You really want to try to bring your trail leg as straight down to the track, but powerfully as possible, versus sticking it out like that. So you want to also lean more into the hurdle. That'll kind of help you from doing that. So lean more into the hurdle. Try to drive through the top of the hurdle versus over the hurdle. You're jumping over the hurdle. You want to just run through the top of the hurdle. then you'll be touching down here and you'll be to running sooner. And you won't have to lean back that way. And then here's that big step right here. Boom. It's like you're triple jumping here. Hope you know I'm not making fun of you. I'm just looking for ways to drive a point home. And look how high your knee is. It's all wasted energy, and it's all driving your momentum up, vertical, when you want to stay horizontal all the time. So definitely your main thing you need to work on is, like Michelle, sprinting technique. Get up on your toes. The other thing is driving your knee to the top of the hurdle. Trust that your hurdling drills are going to pay off and that you will not kick it or hit it, but you'll stay lower, you'll maintain more speed, and therefore you won't have to work so hard to get to the hurdles anymore. So if you're going to have more speed coming off the hurdle, then less bounding, less floating. It all builds on itself to get faster. I would, in case you're not already doing it, I would practice with your hurdles closer together. I would start off probably by about 2 foot less than the official spacing, so you can get fast, and the faster you get, then start spreading it out to maybe 6 inches farther, then 12 inches farther, 18 inches farther. And if you could practice really good at 12 to 18 inches less than the actual spacing in the meet, then you'll be fine in the meet. Because in the meet, you're going to have all the energy, all the adrenaline, and it'll feel just like you're practicing. But if you practice based on like the same way that I just saw here, then you're just going to keep practicing how to be slow, how to be high, how to take big steps. You have to practice being fast so that when you go to the meet, you know how to run fast. You know how to hurdle low and keep fast. Okay, so let me see here. Okay, so I do know Nolan's question, but I'm seeing Michelle's question. I have a hard time with sprinting. My coach specializes in cross country. Okay. Well, like I said, you can go into my website to the running section, and there is a thing that you can download called a running technique cheat sheet, and that'll help you. Also, if you join Team ACE, then put that as a question in there, and I will, basically my plan there is to answer everybody's questions and then do a really good job at them and post them up there so everybody can see all the questions and the answers, so they can learn from each other's questions and answers. And if you don't see the question, then do that. But and what I'll do is I'll create a video that talks about sprinting technique and how you need to do that. So hopefully that'll help you. But that'll do it. And that'll kind of force me to do what I've been meaning to do a long time, is to create a video that talks about how to sprint, the technique of sprinting. I need to do a better job at that. So anyway, hope that helps. Let's see here. Sure thing, Benjamin. Okay, Nolan. So I hear your question. So anybody else who's here, the question is, what do you do when you're not tall and you have a hard time with the hurdles? And Nolan, you're coming from middle school where you had success because the hurdles were lower, but now all of a sudden they're 39 inches. Big difference when you are 5'5". So, and I told this in your email earlier, and I went back and watched your older video. You're very aggressive on the hurdle, the way every good hurdler needs to be, and you're fast. But you, no matter what, you're going to be at a disadvantage. And here's why. Because you're going to have to jump to get over the hurdle. Whereas a taller athlete doesn't have to jump. They can just run through the top. But if you're 5'5", no matter what, you're going to have to jump. So in order to not get really high over the hurdle, you are going to have to take off from farther away so you can stay lower over that hurdle, but it's still going to be more of a curve than a taller athlete. And the longer you're in the air, the longer you lose speed. The other thing is you're going to have to land far away from the hurdle, even though the taller athlete can come down close to the hurdle and get to running. See, the problem with jumping and floating is there's no propulsion unless you had a jetpack on. So the only propulsion you have as a runner is whenever your feet hit the ground and they're pushing down on the ground. So no matter what you do, you're gonna have an uphill battle. So the trick is going to be jump from farther away, land from farther on the other side, and just try to stay as low to the hurdle as possible. Skim every single one of them. Even if you could make them tilt a little bit to stay even lower than the hurdle, that would be fine. If you start kicking every hurdle, they're going to not like that. But if your hamstrings are coming down, like as you descend the hurdle, no one's going to say anything. It's just that'll keep you lower, so you don't have to jump 39 inches. Maybe you're only jumping 38 inches or 37 inches, something like that. That will be the way to go. And then just try to overcompensate by being as fast as you can and having the most perfect technique that anyone can imagine to try to compensate for it. But that's really my advice. That's it. I hope that helped. Let me know if you have any other questions. So right now, seems like I only have one person. See if I got any other questions come in. Benjamin, Nolan, Michelle. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Did send a video, was kind of late. Don't have to look at it if you don't want. I'll tell you what, Nolan, seeing as how you were the only person on here right now, let me go to my email. Let me see if I can work it. Okay. It looks like it would work. I'm going to take it. I got it now. I have to take it and save it somewhere else. It's a little bit of a process. Downloads. Okay, this one. Move it. Okay. Should be. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. Let me just double check, see how I'm doing on YouTube. So, Michelle, yeah, let me look at Nolan's video and then let me see if I can do the other one real quick. Okay. This video is small. Let me see. don't, it's not what I wanted. Give me a second. Now I got to go see. You guys look like ants in this video, Nolan. So I don't even know which one is you. I think that you are in lane 2 and you got 5th place. I think that's you. So, I mean, you're doing great, but you're a freshman racing against probably a bunch of older guys. Let me see if I could find anything out here. That looks good. You attacked that really well. And you're not jumping very much. Yeah, it's hard to really tell, as you can imagine, because yeah. So honestly, I think you're doing well. I mean, most freshmen, I think you're ahead of the curve for freshmen. I really do. Okay, yeah. Every hurdler that I've ever had, even I coached a guy last year. He's in a lot of my videos, real strong looking kid. I mean, you saw what he looked like as a freshman. He was terrible. But even if he was a good freshman, very, very few freshmen can keep up with the upperclassmen. It's a lot about physical development and just how many years you've been working at this. I have one kid who is a senior right now in high school and projected to be a state champion. You know, anything can happen. He's been the #1 hurdler in his age group in his state of Colorado for every year because he's been hurdling since he was a little boy. But even then, he just wasn't physically developed like the upperclassmen. And so I just kept telling him, you just wait your time. And sure enough, now that he's a senior, no one's close to him. So that's the way it should be. Okay, so I have here somebody named Skip. Should I be landing and running 3 steps flat foot in 110 hurdles? No. You, as a sprinter, in fact, no runner should land flat. I take that back. Some distance runners like to strike flat. Never on your heels. Some distance runners like to be flat. I'm a proponent of always striking on the ball of your foot. But sprinters, definitely. Never on your heels, never flat. Reason being is because if you think about your body and what gives you the cushion and the absorption and the spring, it comes from 3 spots. Your hips hinge, your knees hinge, and then your ankles hinge. If you are landing flat-footed, you're removing one of the hinges, and you can't be as fast. So you want to always strike the ground on the ball of your feet. We say run on your toes, but really we're just talking about the balls of your feet, and that helps you get your feet underneath you so you don't have a braking action in front of you also, so you're always faster. Okay, hope that answered your question. Let me see if I get any other questions. Let me see, Michelle, to answer your question. To look at your other video. The problem is I don't have it queued up. Yeah, sorry. Let me see. Let's see, Nolan asked, I was highest ranking freshman at the meet. It's just the struggle of 3 steps I was worried about. Thank you with no hurdle coaches in my school. You've been a big help. I appreciate that. And if you know, I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, hiring coaches is expensive. So to have me to only be $29 a month to review all your videos is honestly, I think, a ridiculous steal. But I do realize there's a disadvantage because I can't be there live with you, but I can certainly be there you can send me videos of practice. I can give you feedback there. I can give you workouts. I can adjust things all the time, multiple times a week if that's what you want. So I would highly recommend that. If nothing else, Team Ace, only $9 a month to be able to access what I know and also get the workouts. That's a no-brainer. No-brainer in my opinion. Hope that's something that you would consider. Let's see here. I don't have any other questions. Doesn't mean I can't take any, but while I'm waiting for another question, I might as well see if I can access. I'm just realizing, yeah, I'm going to see if I can access Michelle's video. I'm going to break my rule. I'm doing this for you, Michelle. Let's see here. Where is it? Oh, I think I know where it is. Okay. Actually, I don't. Here we go. Here we go. If anybody has a question, feel free to leave it. Okay, Michelle, I'm not going to pull this into my...
I'm recorded.
I'm not going to pull this into my analyzer because it will take too long. And I think it was upside down or sideways or something. Come on.
7.
Yeah, it's... see, this is the problem. The video came sideways, and I don't have time to... This is why I don't do this. Okay, so I'll try to look at it later, though. Okay, let me see here. So Nolan, so all I need to do is jump further out and land further out to 3-step. Yeah, the whole point of jumping further out and landing further out is to avoid taking... Okay, when you hurdle, from the time you're in between the hurdles to the time you go over the hurdles, there's what's called a curve. It's called a parabolic curve. And you want that curve to be as flat as possible. So the more you have to jump up, the more that curve is going to not be flat and float. So the way to stay low, because, okay, if you're close to the hurdle and you're low and you have to jump up, you're taking this steep angle, which means that you have to keep going up after you clear the hurdle. So you're going higher and higher in order to not hit it. So you have to, from farther away, jump so that you can stay lower and keep a low curve to compensate for the lack of height. So hopefully that answers your question. You're welcome, Michelle. Sorry I didn't cue it up. Okay, let me see if I can do that, if I see anyone else. By the way, let me, in case anybody's interested, let me show you where on my website that you would see all this stuff. Okay, so at the beginning of the hurdling page, I have this new thing called Team ACE. You can click on it, and it's just going to take you to another landing page. So, just gives you honestly, now that I look at it, I don't even know why I needed that. But anyway, it just tells you, honestly, I think I might get rid of it. One way or the other, when you click on it, it's going to take you to my Team ACE right here, which is a Discord server, which we, again, you'll be able to see announcements. You can share videos for everyone else in the community to give you some advice. Here's where you can submit videos for me to check out. Try to limit it to about one a week in this one versus my Ace Hurdler subscription, which is unlimited. You can go in and ask questions, but also check to see if I've already answered those questions. Here's where I'll be posting instructional videos, and here's where you can come to get the workouts. Right now I have in here pre-season workouts, but if you are somebody who's already in your indoor season and you want me to give you workouts, let me know, because I can post those on here as well. So all for that for $9 a month. So let's see how we're doing. There's a lot of buttons to click when you're doing this. Okay. Okay, so I don't have any other questions, but I seem to have about 5 people on here. So hopefully one of you has a question for me, 4 of you. So hopefully one of you has a question so I can answer it, because I'm done looking at videos for now. Definitely gonna check that out. Cheaper one while it's free. Hey, no problem, Nolan. Anything I can do to help you will be good. Okay, I think we're down to 3 people now. So if one of you could send me a question, that'll give me something to talk about. Okay, I'm going to wait about 30 more seconds. It's been a lot of fun. Okay, so if I don't get a question, oh, here we go. I got a question. How do you build stamina as a 300 runner? Well, since you're going to be joining Team ACE, you get those workouts in there. But to answer your question, there's, as any sprinter and hurdler, there's 3 things you need to work on. There's your endurance, and there's your speed, but there's also your speed endurance. So that is running fast, but longer and doing a lot of them. So that would be, when you're working on speed, you're doing short things. And, like you're doing 50-meter repeats, 75-meter repeats, 100-meter repeats, really fast and long rest period. When you're working on endurance, you're doing longer stuff and shorter rest periods, but you're not going really fast. When you're working on speed endurance, you're doing things like 200-meter repeats, 150-meter repeats, 250-meter repeats, where you're running fast but longer, and also sort of a medium rest period. And that kind of stuff builds up your speed endurance. So which is going to help you in both races. In the 100, in the 110s, it'll help you towards the end of the race. In the 300 hurdles, it'll definitely help you maintain your speed, which, as I told you in your email, that even though it's not your favorite race, that's where you're going to be a lot more even amongst your competitors, because you attack better than most, and you seem to, at the end of the race, have the ability to still run hard and attack the hurdle hard versus slowing down and stuttering. And my workouts will give you all those workouts that'll help build up your speed endurance. That was a good question. Again, I'm just waiting on another question. Okay. My 400 time is atrocious, but as a middle schooler, I was about to get 27, 40, 200 meter hurdles. Okay. Adding in the factors of 300 meters, I start to struggle. Okay. So here's the thing. Most middle schoolers struggle at 400 meters. So just know that. And most young hurdlers struggle at 300 hurdles. So if you have a good training plan, you're going to do really well. To ask, as you are a hurdle coach, going off my old 27. Man, that's really hard for me to answer. Let's see here, 37, 40. I mean, I think I'll tell you what, if you are a freshman and you can get below 44 seconds, you're going to be doing well. Relatively speaking, to me, that's should be easy for you. Like I think super easy for you. So try to do that. Try to get as close to, try to break 42. I think that would be a super good goal for a freshman. But within the realm of possibility for you, I think that'll be a good goal. Okay, anyone else have any? I seem to have 3 people on right now. Just wondering if anyone else has a question. You're welcome. All right, I'm going to do the same thing I was going to do before. Then I got another question. If I don't have another question in the next handful of seconds, I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. Here we go. When will we be posting the sprint video? I don't know the answer to that, Michelle. Reason being, I'm going to try to do it within a couple weeks. I wish it was sooner, just that I know the workload that I have right now. Right now I'm working on a video about training for 300 hurdles. It's one of my coach series videos, but it would work for an athlete too. I hope to get that up middle of this week, and then I have some others in mind, but I'll try to put a quick one together. I'll tell you what I'll try to do. I'm going to try to do a quick video for this to answer this question next week sometime. In fact, that's my goal. In fact, feel free to pressure me in Team ACE asking me to do that. That'll keep a fire under me to put something together. It should be easy. So I don't have to make it as fancy as my YouTube videos. They take a long time to make them really good. This is one that I can do simpler. You're welcome. Let's see here. Okay. Nolan asked a great question. I joined the cross-country team to build my endurance. Do you think that was a smart idea? I felt that it has helped, but it could be me getting stronger. What do you think? I don't think any sprinter should run cross-country. The reason being is because it is a totally different energy system, meaning the fuels that you use and the energy that you use to do that race don't translate into sprinting. They don't translate even into the 300 hurdles. And the other thing is, most cases, in order to survive that type of a distance, runners start running with a more conservative, energy saving stride or gait, and it's bad for a sprinter. So I would not suggest doing cross country anymore. Your off season should work on technique. You should be in the weight room working on strength and power, because you need to be powerful. You can also be working on, like I said, running technique, hurdling technique, and then also full speed, like becoming full speed. You don't even have to worry about being in great shape in the off season, because you just don't. As long as you start training at least 6 weeks before just know that the human body can get in top physical shape in 12 weeks, and your season is 12 weeks. Anybody can be ready for the end of the season, even if they didn't do anything. It's not smart, but if you're doing indoors, I would just do off-season training. Again, if you're a part of Team ACE, I'll give that stuff to you. You had off-season training in the fall, and then start ramping up for indoors at around October, November, and then do indoors, January, February, and then take a quick down, and then you'll go into your spring season, and then after the spring season, take a little time off, and then just repeat this cycle. But it needs to be technique, speed power, and speed endurance. You don't need to do cross country. So there's lots of science out there to back up what I just said. Michelle asked a question: could you also post a video on a hurdle weight room and diet? Oh my goodness, you're asking some good, but you're making me work here. I don't know. Yeah, I'll work on those too. I definitely will put some stuff out there. Okay. Yeah. Again, ask me those questions in Team ACE, and it'll kind of force me to do that. Plus, you'll have other hurdlers, other athletes go on and give you advice, and some of them will be really good. And just so you know, I will screen. I'll figure out how to do it to where I can screen everybody's answers, and if they're not good answers, I'll remove them, because I only want to put good stuff out there. Nolan, is cross country hurting me? I do love it. I don't seem to have a problem getting back into things. Okay, if you love it, then do it. Just know that it's not going to help you for track as much as you think that it is. That's really the thing. It's going to, in terms of will it hurt you, I would honestly say it's less than ideal, because, for example, in college and Olympics, none of those people are running miles in the off season. They're all in the weight room working on their strength and power. So just know that. So I don't know that it will hurt you, but it won't give you a leg up. So if you want to keep doing it, what I would recommend is at least twice a week, maybe at the beginning of cross-country practice or before you go out on your runs, do some sprints so that you keep the speed in your legs, keep the snap in your legs, and you don't have to start fresh for indoor track. The other is I would be weightlifting all year long, even during cross-country season, after practice, weekends, whatever. at least 2 days a week, I would be lifting weights to stay strong, and that'll make up for it. Michelle, how many days should a hurdler hurdle in a week? No more than 3, and that includes races, because it's really tough on your body, and I don't want you to get hurt. So in all my training plans, it only provides for 3 workouts a week. Okay, I'm going to take some last questions because it's almost been an hour, and I have been working on this stuff all weekend and ignored my wife, and I promised her I would take her out to dinner. So let me see here. I seem to have 5 people on right now. Okay, Nolan, I do weightlift. I can start sprinting during cross-country season. Thank you. I'm going to head out. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I like the live streams. I like it a lot, actually. I'm going to do it every week. That's my goal. And that would work. Okay, any final questions? You guys have been being great with some great questions. Michelle, yeah, I'm teasing when I say that you're going to make me work. It really is. But I need it because I need to build up my library of questions and answers in there. Okay, you're welcome. Be talking to you soon, hopefully. If anyone is still there, I don't have any questions. I'm going to wrap this up by showing you something. Excuse me. If you weren't here earlier, 2 ways to work with me. One is through a subscription that is called my Ace Hurdler subscription. And that is right here. It's only $29 a month, and it gives you unlimited access to me. What does that mean? You can, through WhatsApp, I'll give you an example here. Here's me dialoguing with somebody in my subscription. These are all the videos that we've sent back and forth, all the questions that we go through. That's what it looks like. I'm giving them workouts, giving them advice all the time, unlimited. $29 a month. An alternative to that is if you want to do more of a one-to-many concept, which is me giving out information to a bunch of people, like posting workouts, and then you just taking them and modifying as needed. You can share videos on here for the community to look at, give you advice, or you can also post to me, but limited to more like once a week versus unlimited. Ask questions and get answers, and I'll try to answer everyone on here, but then they'll be saved on there for future. I'll be having instructional videos, all this for $9 a month, but right now it's free. So keep that in mind. Let me see how we're doing. Okay, so I still have 4 people, but we're bumping up against the 1 hour mark, which, like I said, I promised my wife I would take her to dinner. So I'm going to give you a few more seconds to see if anybody has a final question. If not, I'm going to bounce out. I don't. So thank you for joining. I hope you learned some things. If you, I plan to do this again next week, unless further notice. If you want to send me a video in advance, that way I can have it queued up and ready to go. Questions in advance are good, just in case I need to do a little thinking about it, maybe even a little research. So far that hasn't happened, but you never know. I don't know everything. So that's it. Have a good evening.